Have you ever noticed your cat acting differently after someone disappeared? Not eating the same, not playing the same, just quieter. Most people assume they'll adjust. But what if your cat didn't just notice the loss? What if they actually felt it? Because when a cat loses someone, another pet, or even a human, something changes in ways that are easy to miss. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And understanding this could change how you care for your cat during one of the most important moments of their life. 1. Cats don't react, they withdraw. When humans grieve, we express it. We cry, we talk, we seek comfort. Cats do the opposite. They withdraw. You might notice they sleep more, they move less, they stop engaging the way they used to. And because it's quiet, it's often misunderstood. But this isn't your cat moving on. This is your cat processing something they don't understand. 2. They notice the absence, not just the loss. Cats are creatures of patterns. They don't think in terms of death or gone forever. They think in routines. Who sat here? Who slept there? Who walked through that door every day? So when someone disappears, it's not just emotional, it's confusing. You may see your cat walking into rooms and pausing, sniffing familiar spaces, waiting in places that used to meet them. They're not just looking, they're trying to understand why the pattern broke. 3. Their sense of safety changes. To a cat, their world is built on predictability, and loss disrupts that. Especially if the one they lost was part of their comfort system. Another pet they bonded with, a human they trusted deeply. Without that presence, their environment feels different, less stable, less certain. And that's when you may notice subtle signs, more hiding, less appetite, increased alertness, or unusual silence. They're not just sad, they're adjusting to a world that no longer feels the same. And if you've ever seen your cat go through something like this, you probably felt it too. That quiet change, that shift in their behavior. So if this is helping you understand your cat on a deeper level, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to Animora CodeX. Because the more we understand these small signals, the better we can show up for them when it matters most. Now here's where their healing process begins. 4. Healing doesn't look like you expect. Cats don't recover in a straight line. They don't wake up one day and go back to normal. Instead, they slowly rebuild their sense of safety. You might notice small changes, a little more movement, a little more curiosity, a return to familiar spots. These aren't random. These are signs your cat is beginning to feel stable again. But it takes time. And forcing interaction too early can actually slow that process. 5. Your presence becomes more important. During this time, something shifts in your relationship. Your cat may stay closer to you, follow you more, sleep nearer than usual, not because they suddenly became clingy, but because you've become their anchor. In a world that changed unexpectedly, you are now the most familiar constant they have. And every small interaction you give them, a gentle touch, a calm voice, just sitting nearby, it matters more than you realize. 6. They remember, but differently than you. Cats don't hold memories the same way humans do. They don't replay moments or reflect on the past, but they remember through association, through scent, through spaces, through habits. So even after they begin to heal, you might still see moments where they pause, where they return to a certain spot, where something triggers that memory again, not as pain, but as recognition. 7. The moment you know they're healing. There's a moment many owners don't notice, but it's one of the most important. It's not dramatic, it's quiet. Your cat starts doing something they used to do before the loss. Maybe they play again, maybe they greet you at the door,
Maybe they return to a sleeping spot they avoided. That moment, that small return, is your cat saying, "I feel safe again." Cats don't grieve loudly. They don't show it in ways we immediately understand, but that doesn't mean they don't feel it. It just means they feel it differently, more quietly, more internally. And when they heal, they don't forget, they adapt. So if your cat has ever gone through loss, just remember, they weren't being distant. They were trying to find their way back to feeling safe again. And now I'm curious, have you ever noticed your cat change after losing someone? What was the first thing that felt different? Because sometimes the smallest changes say the most.